Ever wondered what it's really like to play under the master tactician, Rassie Erasmus? For years, fans have painted Erasmus as a tough, drill sergeant type leader, demanding nothing less than perfection from his Springboks squad. But according to fly half Handre Pollard, that assumption misses the mark, and maybe even the brilliance behind Erasmus's methods. In a revealing interview on the For the Love of Rugby podcast, Pollard debunks some myths about Erasmus's coaching style, explaining,
"Not just this militaristic, fucking, yeah, bash you down, I'm gonna keep you humble, shut up." No, it's not like that at all. It's a real art, but that's what makes him so good. And yeah, that's why there's not a lot of complacency in our group.
While Erasmus might seem intense on the surface, Pollard reveals that his methods go deeper, balancing discipline with an acute awareness of the group's dynamics and moods. He recalls that one of the first things Erasmus emphasized when he joined the Springboks squad was the importance of leaving entitlement at the door.
Or entitlement, this first thing he ever spoke about was entitlement, because that's the first thing that breaks a group up. If senior guys think they're important, that was way back when we started, and that's still something we live by, because the influence the older guys have on a group is so big, and you know this, you guys have been there, but on the younger guys, we've got the very different experience from our younger days towards what we are trying to give these guys now. And nothing was wrong or right, it's just different eras. So the way we have to treat those guys and all that, so no, listen, yeah, there's a lot you can say about him. He's a genius, isn't he?
No, he's fascinating. I find him unbelievably fascinating.
Erasmus's talent for reading his players goes beyond tactical mastery on the field. Pollard shared how Erasmus has an almost uncanny sense for understanding what's happening within the team.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's sort of changed over the years a little bit, because we've been together for a long time now. And he's not the guy that's going to have these personal connections with a player. He's not going to know your wife and your baby's names. And he's not, he does because we're there all the time. But I mean, like, he's not going to know your family story. He'll know where you grew up from, and he knows your history, because he believes a lot of that shapes you into a player and the person you become. If you've gone through some hardships, then the hardships of rugby will be nothing for you, so most of our team. So,
despite not having those personal connections, Erasmus has a knack for reading the team dynamic like no other.
He can read the group like I've never seen before, and even before we can even pick it up within the group. He's known it for 2 weeks already. He sees stuff coming from a mile, and when we need to be shocked a little bit, he does that. And actually, when you have success, you can be the best bunch of guys ever, but there's gonna be a little bit of egos are gonna develop, and guys are gonna think, not necessarily say they're important or think they're important, but you know what I mean. You get a bit of, oh, okay, I'm not too bad, am I? But he sees it from a mile, man, and then it just boom, shocks you on a Monday morning, just puts you back in your seat. You're like, okay, fair enough, back to zero, and we go again.
According to Pollard, it's this no-nonsense approach that helps the big players like Peter, Steph, Sia, and Eben stay grounded. In fact, he says,
and that's where he's so good. He doesn't miss anything. He's quite often not there, but he knows everything. He knows exactly what's going on, and he can read and he can feel for the group, and that's the thing. He knows when we need confidence. He knows when we need to be put in our place. And what that is, it keeps everybody very equal and keeps everybody extremely hungry. Especially the older guys. If you look at like your big dogs like Peter, Steph, or Sia, Eben, and those guys, even them. It's not a fear of, am I still going to play or not? It's just, I've got to prove myself every single day. Otherwise, I won't play. Doesn't matter who you are. And that's what makes him special.
So, what do you think? Do Rassie Erasmus's unconventional methods sound like the perfect formula? Or could he benefit from building closer ties with his players? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more exclusive updates on your favorite rugby team right here on Green and Gold Army News.